everyone, Miss Fisher here, and today we're going to be reading a story on Epic. It's called The Spacesuit, How a Seamstress Put a Man on the Moon. Let's get started. Seamstress Helped Put a Man on the Moon by Allison Donald, illustrated by Ariel Landy. This is Ellie. Ellie helped change the world with a needle and a thread many years ago. Ellie loved to design and sew from a young age. As a child, she felt her fingers come alive the first time she used a sewing machine. She threaded the needle and pressed the foot pedal. 3, 2, 1, blast off. The sewing machine launched her into another universe, where fabric could be tucked and tapered. The whir of the machine fueled her imagination with ideas. With hard work, any design was possible. As an adult, Ellie got a job sewing clothes for women and babies. Ellie worked quickly and carefully. Her seams were straight and her stitching was neat. An engineer noticed and asked her a question. Instead, Ellie couldn't believe her ears. Yes, I would love to! Ellie's workplace had entered an exciting competition at the last minute, but it wasn't going to be easy. If we win, our spacesuit will go to the moon. Fact: Ellie worked for a company called ILC Dover. Their division, Playtex, made bras and cloth diapers. Big teams of military designers and engineers were also competing. Ellie's team was small. They only had 6 weeks. Many believed that the seamstresses could never win, but Ellie ignored them and set to work. Thankfully, Ellie had help. Fact: it wasn't unusual for the undergarment industry to try new things. In World War I, they designed flight suits for pilots. She worked with Lenny and his team of engineers. Some engineers were so impressed with the women's sewing that they asked if the seamstresses could teach them how to sew. The seamstresses also shared ideas about how to best make the suit. Ellie looked up old spacesuits. They're hard like armor. Can we make something softer and more comfortable? The answer was yes. The plan was to make a spacesuit with many soft layers. Spacesuits must protect astronauts from heat and be flexible so they can walk on the moon. No one has made a spacesuit like this before. The spacesuit will have lots of thin layers like an onion. Let's get to work. The seamstresses worked from dawn until dusk. The stitching was slow, and if they made a mistake, the whole suit was thrown out. As the suit got bulkier, the seamstresses complained. Fact: the suits got so bulky that the seamstresses had trouble feeding them through their sewing machines. 2 gigantic sewing machines appeared. The ladies named them Sweet Sue and Big Mo. Ellie stitched late into the night with Lenny helping by her side. As the competition drew near, the women were exhausted, but everyone pulled together. The women sewed and glued layer after layer until... Fact: the seamstresses had to sew within 1/64th of an inch. That is the width of a pin. They had 21 layers. Finally, the A7L spacesuit was created. The suits were tested and rushed off to Texas for judging when... Fact: the seamstresses were so proud of the spacesuit that some of them signed their names on the inside. The judges noticed a broken zipper. Ellie and her team were given 12 hours to fix it and return it to the judges. The suit made it just in time, with the help from an airplane. After many tests, the results were in. Helmet blew off. The second competitor's suit failed because it was too wide to fit in the space capsule. Lastly, the A7L spacesuit. Fact, the spacesuits were tested in special areas that had reduced gravity, just like the moon. Was named the winner. Comfortable, heat resistant, light enough to walk on the moon. On July 20th, 1969, when Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin walked on the moon, Ellie and her team were nervous. But when she saw them pick up moon rocks and return to the capsule safely, Ellie knew the suits were perfect. Ellie's heart swelled with pride. The universe seemed smaller that night. The Earth and the moon felt woven together by invisible thread. Stitch by stitch, layer by layer, the A7L spacesuit had changed the world forever. The end. Alright everyone, that was the spacesuit, how a seamstress helped put a man on the moon. I sure hope you enjoyed the story, because I did too. Alright my friends, I'll see you next time. Bye-bye!